Boris Johnson finally admits that there was a party and that he attended it, although he still claims that it was a work thing. Don't take this from me, take this from the man's mouth itself and listen to him talk about what happened on the 20th of May and the excuses that he tries to make up for that.
Number 10 is a big department with the garden as an extension of the office, which has been in constant use because of the role of fresh air in stopping the virus. And when I went into that garden just after 6 on the 20th of May 2020 to thank groups of staff before going back into my office 25 minutes later to continue working, I believed implicitly that this was a work event. But, Mr. Speaker, with hindsight, I should have sent everyone back inside. I should have found some other way to thank them. And I should have recognised that even if it could be said technically to fall within the guidance, there would be millions and millions of people who simply would not see it that way, people who suffered terribly, people who were forbidden from meeting loved ones at all, inside or outside. And to them and to this House, I offer my heartfelt apologies. And all I ask is that Sue Gray be allowed to complete her inquiry into that day and several others so that the full facts can be established. And I will, of course, come back to this House and make a statement.
But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't just stop with what Boris says, where he tries to make up some excuse about it being a work technicality and saying that the British people wouldn't understand it. Oh, we understand it. We understand it perfectly well. And that is why we're angry about it. And surprisingly, Keir Starmer gets this and actually holds Boris to task. And he does the thing that we have been hoping he would do for a very long time, which is demand the Prime Minister's resignation. Don't take that from me, take it from the man himself in this clip.
Well, there we have it. After months of deceit and deception, the pathetic spectacle of a man who's run out of road. His defence that he didn't realise he was at a party. It is so ridiculous that it's actually offensive to the British public. He's finally been forced to admit what everyone knew, that when the whole country was locked down, he was hosting boozy parties in Downing Street. Yes. Is he now going to do the decent thing and resign?
I want to make this perfectly clear. Keir Starmer demanding that Boris Johnson resigns means nothing. It will not make Boris Johnson resign. However, what it will do is put pressure on the Tory party, and it will make them have to make decisions about whether they want Boris Johnson to remain as leader in the face of public opinion. Now, we all know, though, Tories really don't care about public opinion. However, this might be enough of a shunt for them to at least say, we care about this more than Boris Johnson. Because let's be real, they have got other people who can take up the role. This won't fix the problem of Tory politics or the things that they're pushing for in this country. It will not fix the Borders Bill. It will not fix the bill that tries to strip away our right to protests. It will not fix the fact that more people are worse off now than they have been for over a decade. However, it might actually give the people enough of a push to actually start trying to create real political change in this country. Or should I say, anti-Tory change in this country, which is what we need. But Boris Johnson's defence to this is just absurd. Trying to say that it was a work party technically, when the evidence suggests it isn't. You know, any reasonable person would not say that is a work party. You can't drink at work. It was just a work thing. No, it wasn't. And it's so insulting to the British public to think that we would fall for that. We just have to see where this goes and if Boris Johnson will be forced out or whether the Tories will keep him. I would like to think with Boris gone that things would get better, but in reality that isn't the case. things won't get better until the Tory party is elected out of office, which is going to be a hard task to do, considering that there is no real opposition, or better to say, that there is opposition, but because of our political system, the opposition has no power, despite having more of the vote than the party who is in charge of running the government. And that is the problem with the UK. We use the first past the post system. This means that with 43% of the vote, you can win the majority of the seats in the House of Commons, yet parties who collectively have more of the vote have less seats than you. That is not democracy. It is not democracy when the majority of voters' wishes are never represented and never manifest because the people that they try to elect, the parties and policies that they voted for, don't get a seat because of an undemocratic system. It's time we had proportional representation. It's time that the House of Commons seats were divided not by constituencies, but by what percentage of the votes you get. If you get 30% of the vote, then you should get 30% of the seats. If you get 5% of the vote, you should get 5% of the seats. And so on and so forth. So every party is represented by the voters. So every party and every politician who voters voted for has a voice and can hold the government accountable, can hold each other accountable, can represent the interests of their constituents. Otherwise, it's one ideology, one policy, and no change. We'll have to see where this goes and what happens in the future. I doubt Boris Johnson will resign. I doubt we'll change from the system that we're in. The only possibility is if there's overwhelming change in the next general election to the point where no matter how you jerry-rig the constituencies, so many people vote overwhelmingly in all of them that the Tories do not get the seats at all. But that is very unlikely to happen and is a very difficult task to do. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you think about Boris Johnson admitting to this. Let me know what you think about Keir Starmer holding him to task and trying to put pressure on the Tories party, on the Conservatives. As always, guys, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.